What's up, YouTube family? Quick PSA, your credit score doesn't mean anything. I know, sounds crazy, but it's true. And I'm going to explain why in this video. Alright? So, if you don't know, I'm Jamal, owner operator of Leveled Up Credit Services. This is my channel. Please like, subscribe, thumb me up, thumb me down, hit the notification button. And as always, leave a comment below. Let's chop it up. Let's learn from one another, okay? So, I know what you're thinking. What are you talking about? My credit score is trash. My credit score doesn't mean anything. Like, everyone's asking me for my credit score. I know, they ask me for my credit score too, right? You go to get a home loan, they want to know about your credit score. They want to know about your credit score at the car dealership. But guess what is more important than the credit score? Profile, your consumer profile. Have you ever thought, okay, so where are they getting this information for my credit score? Like, if my credit score is so important, how are they coming up with it? If there are 5 factors that control my credit score, my payment history, my debt owed, the age of my credit, how many new accounts I have, and how many different kinds of accounts I have, how do they know that? Where are they getting this information from? Have y'all ever thought about that? Like, if the FICO score is based on these 5 things, should I be worried about the FICO score, or should I be worried about these 5 things? Have you ever tasted a cake or just something that's so delicious, and the first thing you ask them is, what is this made out of? I taste something that's unique, fresh, different. What is that ingredient, right? Because you have the dinner or you have that dessert, you have everything put together, but there's something you still need to know how it was made. What is that determining factor that really gives it that kick? It's the same thing with your credit score. You got a 750, a 800, 660, whatever. What are the ingredients that gave you that score? That's the real quote unquote sauce. Learning these 5 factors and how to manipulate them and improve them to increase your credit score. That's actually the basis of credit repair, credit restoration, credit strategy, is being able to understand these 5, what we call data points, and manipulating them to create the score that we want and need in order to prosper and gain access to more credit so that we can leverage it, aka use it to our benefit. Okay, so that's why your credit score isn't the most important thing. Okay, it's the credit report, because you can have someone with a high credit score, but all they did was that they manipulated these 5 factors, okay, because their credit score is just based on a computer. The computer looks at these 5 factors and the accounts and data that you have based on these 5 factors. They run it through a math equation and kick out a 3-digit number, right? That's how you get a credit score. So people have learned, okay, so if I want a 720, I want to have on-time payment history, or at least a 99% payment history. If I have a late payment, that late payment can be from 2 years ago, and it won't really impact my score that much. Maybe 3 years ago, right? I want to have a lot of payment history. So maybe I can ask my mom, my dad, my grandma, a friend, a cousin to add me to their credit cards, and I can piggyback off of their credit, and they'll grow my age and make it look like I have all these old accounts. I don't, or what's something else that a lot of people do? You don't. Of course, you just don't borrow a whole lot of money. That keeps your utilization down, and you maybe apply for some other accounts yourself that don't have that don't give you a hard inquiry. That way you can build up a profile without having a lot of hard inquiries, right? And you do this and you're at a 750, right? And you're like, yeah, 750. Bam, that looks amazing. Look at my number. You post it on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and you're like, I went from a 300 to a 750 in 45 days. This is how you do it. Grab my ebook, blah, 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 right? Cool, fantastic, wonderful. Then you go to a bank and you say, hey bank, I want a loan for a $60,000 car, or I want a $30,000 loan. And they look at your credit report, not just the score, but the report, and they say, nah. And you're like, what do you mean, nah? I got a 750. What you mean? They're like, yeah, nah. Like, we're looking at your report, and it looks like it says you have 20 years of history, but you're only 18, and out of all the accounts you have, only 3 of them belong to you out of all of these other accounts. And out of the 3 that belong to you, none of them are older than 6 months. So it doesn't look like you have it doesn't look like you personally have a lot of experience with credit or taking on debt and managing it properly. So even though you have a high score, we'll have to decline and pass because we're not confident that you'll be able to pay back such a large amount. And then you're like, what in the world? I just went through all this. I got the AUs. I was able to add and get some new accounts without getting a whole bunch of hard inquiries. I make my payments on time, and you just feel defeated, right? That's where learning how to build a good client profile is important. So along with that, I'm going to tell you in this video what a good profile needs to look like. Okay, so 5 factors. Your payment history. Payment history needs to be 100% on time, all the time, no missed payments. Okay, pay every bill by the due date. Very simple. Next is your credit usage. Okay, credit usage. To have the absolute best credit profile, you only want to show that you're using between 1% to 9% of all of your available credit. So if you have multiple credit cards, whatever that total is, let's say it's $1,000 for simple math, 1% to 9%, that's only $100. No, sorry, that's only $10 to $90 if you have $1,000 limit. You only want to show that you're using $10 to $90. Now, as your credit limit increase, that means how much you can show is going to increase because it's a percentage. So if you have $100,000, that means you can show $1,000 to $9,000. Okay. Next, we're looking at the age. We spoke about that. That's piggybacking, also known as adding you as an authorized user to someone else's account. Next is credit mix. So credit mix, you when you're building your profile, you want to start off with, I would say, about 5 accounts. Okay, 2 loans, 3 credit cards. The credit card should be unsecured. The loans, they can be secured or unsecured. So that could be a personal loan or auto loan. I mean, if you lucky, you know, you got those skills and you were able to get a mortgage, that's also amazing, right? Having that mix. Lastly is what we call hard inquiries, however you want to say it. And that is how many times have you applied for credit, and how many, it also represents how many times a company has looked at your credit report in regards to a credit application that was submitted. With hard inquiries, you don't want to have more than 4 showing on your consumer report at any given time. When it comes to applying for credit cards, that cap is really like 7. Once you're at 7, most credit card companies are automatically just going to deny you because you have too many hard inquiries. Okay, a lot of fintechs, especially when it comes to like personal loans, they'll also start to deny you when you have like 7 or more hard inquiries. One thing going back, I did forget to mention your age. You want to have at least 2 years. Now the sweet spot really is 5 years or more. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. Okay, let me know if this was helpful. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Check out the description. I got a couple of links down there. It'd be great. It really supports the channel, supports me. And I'll talk to y'all later. See you on the flip side.